Yo, what's up guys, my fellow wolf pack? Hope you're doing good. It's your boy Kenny. I'm back with some more small talk, back with another video for you guys, man. New week, new content, feeling good. So yeah man, today guys, I don't know what I'm gonna call this video. I'll probably make it up, you know, as I go along or after I've listened to it back. But I don't know, I guess what I want to say in this video is that, like, as a man, you know, your self-improvement, your self-development, it matters more than you think, right? It matters more than you think, and it's actually not just about you. And a lot of us need to see the bigger picture, right? And I honestly believe that, like, you know, men working on themselves, men working on their level of consciousness, their awareness, you know, their spiritual growth, their emotional maturity, men like consciously working on themselves will literally transform society, you know, in a positive and in a deep way. And I don't think people actually understand or deep that enough. You know, when you think about it, right, for a man, and I'm going to reference a book actually. It's called The Way of the Superior Man by David Data. If you guys have never listened to that book, I recommend you read that book. I actually listened to it on Audible, and that was a game changer. That was a complete game changer, and every young guy, every man should listen to that book, and women too, actually, just to get a better understanding about, you know, about men and about in general. So yeah, one thing in that book is that it talks about masculine and feminine energy, right? And one thing I learned is that masculine energy is, you know, it is about purpose. It is about direction. You know, masculine energy brings around directionality, you know, boundaries, purpose, you know, and essentially going somewhere, taking you on a journey. That is what masculine energy in its essence really is, right? And it's about consciousness. It's about being conscious and being present, okay? And I feel like everything that's around today, and it's kind of linked to the unplugging of the matrix, everything that's around today is heavily geared towards the masculine and really just distracting him, getting him off his purpose, clouding your judgment, and really just, you know, interfering with that energy, interfering with that on a spiritual level. Because people high up, forces high up, you know what I mean, on a spiritual level, know the power of the masculine actually being on his purpose. And I truly believe that. I mean, everything today, man, you just think about it. Let's look at porn, for example, right? And I've talked about this before. That is directly geared to you. It's directly geared to the man. Yes, girls watch it, you know what I mean, but it's geared towards you. It's geared towards you. You know how it is, like most of us, it's men that are watching it at the end of the day, you know what I mean? So, and the thing with that industry is that it knows the man's nature, it knows the man's kind of sexual biology and nature and, you know, weaknesses, and it targets that. And it knows the power of that, because when a man gives his energy to that, that's basically what's going to cloud his judgment. He's not going to be able to think consciously. He's not going to be able to create. He's not going to be able to manifest his, you know, potential, his gifts and his talents, if too much of his energy, if he's overindulging in sex, if he's overindulging in the expression of sexual desire. There's no man that will be able to actually manifest his potential if he's overindulging in that energy. You will not be able to think independently. You will not be able to have a will for yourself and think clearly, you know what I mean? And it's a battle, you know. And I think that if we're not actually conscious of these things, you know, we will let these things take us, you know what I mean? Look at social media and what that's doing. I think that has such an impact on both men and women, but specifically to the men, because I'm targeting the men in this video. You got to think about what you're following, how you're following it, the amount of time and energy you're giving to it, and what it's doing for you in the long term, right? For us guys, man, listen, so look at Instagram, for example. That's basically like soft porn. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Instagram is like soft porn. Like, it can be used greatly, but I believe in most cases it's used very, very destructively. And guy, if you're constantly just following these girls out here that are, you know, out here, and I'm not talking about all the girls, right? Before some girls think I'm being disrespectful, I'm talking about the ones that are purposely out here to wear as least clothing as possible to lure you in, to get your distraction, to get your attention, to get your energy. The ones out here that are just wearing nothing, you know what I mean, and are just basically thirsty for the likes and the followers. As a man, if that's all you're seeing on your feed, my guy, if that's all you're giving your attention to, how the hell do you expect to think clearly? How the hell do you expect to think clearly? How the hell do you expect to actually, you know, independently think properly in a way that's going to get you further in life? If too much attention is going to these things, and sometimes it takes a radical kind of movement to just delete it. I came off Instagram, you know what I mean? I completely came off Instagram. I did this like in the past 2 weeks or so because I just saw what it was doing. And some of you will say, oh, I'm not following like girls, I'm not following these girls on here. But okay, cool, what are you following? What are you following? And then how much time are you giving, are you giving to these social media outlets? Sometimes we're a bit too addicted to just scrolling for no reason, and it's giving our time. And the reason why I'm saying this is because all these things are affecting our level of consciousness. They're affecting our level of awareness. And if they can get men, I've said this so many times, if they can get men, if they can get the man's energy, if they can get the man's mental, they've basically got society. Like, they've got the power of society at the tip of their fingers. Because your ability to think, your ability to manifest purpose will change society. And you've got to think about it too. For those of you that like want a family, for example, on a deep level, and I like to look at things from a spiritual point of view as well, is that your level of spirituality, your level of spiritual awareness, your level of consciousness, your ability to think will literally permeate through your house. You've got to think to yourself, let's say you're here right now in terms of spirituality, in terms of consciousness, in terms of your ability to think. And basically, let's say this is the ceiling to how much you've worked on yourself as a man. Your family can't go above that. That's basically the cap. That's basically the cap. That's the level of consciousness that will permeate through your family, that will permeate through your children, the spirituality that will permeate through your children, that will dictate how you raise your children, what values you actually purposely and consciously instill in your children. It will depend how they go out and represent you out here. It will depend. It will actually like dictate everything. And what's going to happen is, if you're here, for example, you're most likely going to attract a woman that's on that same level. It's going to be very difficult for you to attract someone that's higher. She's going to be on the same level, or if not below. Do you understand? So, and even if she is higher, the fact that you're not pushing is going to be very incredibly difficult for her to raise the entire household, as long as you're there, to that level where she is, because the force that you have is so huge that, you know, you'll be dragging the household down. And I've seen this countless times. So your self-improvement matters, bro. Like, you have to make sure that you set the ceiling so high that not only does your wife, or the person you want to spend your life with, if you want that, if you want children, she has no choice but to be on that same level with you. And then your whole household has no choice but to be so conscious, has no choice to be spiritually awoke, so that your children actually are aware of things, so that they aren't going out here and doing a madness and representing you in a bad way. Do you understand? And that's the thing. Once the homes are in check, society's in check. That's the point I'm trying to make in this video, is that Once our homes are in check, the whole society's in check, and then the game's changed. But if you as a man, if you haven't worked on yourself, if you haven't valued your self-improvement, on working on yourself and all your internal stuff, your home's gone. And when the home's gone, society's gone. Do you understand? And for us young guys, if you're in a region of 18 to like 35, I'm telling you, my bro, your self-improvement, it matters. It matters on a huge level. It matters. Sometimes it takes you to be radical and just come off social media for a while, just so that you can start thinking clearly, so that you can direct more energy to your purpose, so that you can cultivate a purpose, so that you can actually do something of meaning and add value to the world and raise yourself, raise your level of frequency and thinking to a higher level so that you can attract more. And by so doing, raise the standards of society, of the people around you, of your family. You know what I mean? Sometimes it takes us to, just cut off all distractions. Like, no distractions. In this lockdown quarantine period, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, all distractions have gone. I've cut off all distractions. I've made myself so tunnelly engaged because I know that I'm at a critical point where I'm trying to manifest to what it is that I want in this life. I'm trying to climb to a new level with these videos, with my podcast, with other things that I've got working on. I'm trying to push. And I know that if my energy is going to places where it's going to drain from me and take from me, I'm not going to be able to make that leap. You understand? So listen, man, I don't know if you guys got what I was trying to say or if it resonated with you, but I hope it did, man. I hope it did. And I hope you got from this message that, it's bigger than you. It's a lot bigger than you. And that you have the power literally to actually help a domino effect to transform society. But you have to take that initiative. You have to, as a man, you've got to do that. You've got to work on yourself on a conscious level. And you've got to be very mindful of the things that are around at this moment in time. Very mindful of the forces, of the distractions that are around, and try to cut them out as much as you can. All right. So listen, man, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I hope it resonated with you, my fellow wolf pack, my fellow wolves. Let's continue on our mission. The marathon continues. Use this period, as always, to level up, to run your race. It's not a rush. It's not a rush. Run your race. It's a marathon, not a sprint, this life. So do your thing. Do what works for you. Surround yourselves with people that are going to encourage you, that believe in your vision, that are going to help you go to the next level in life, that are conscious, that are aware of the things that I've been talking about in this video, so that you can actually be vigilant. All right. So guys, take care. I'll be back with some new videos soon. Peace.